Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster interview. Dev team reveals who's voicing Frank West, the future of the series, and more. We talked to the dev team to see what fans can expect from DRDR ahead of its release next month. Less than a month from now, Dead Rising returns. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster provides a quality of life update to a beloved zombie game that seeks to revive this dormant series and appeal to a wider audience. I was fortunate enough to ask the development team behind the remaster a few questions I was curious about following my hands on preview. In this interview, we discussed an array of changes in Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. This includes what other changes fans can expect in the full release, what changes were made to Infinity Mode, where the future holds for the series, and who exactly is voicing Frank West. I actually never played Overtime or Infinity Mode. Check out the full interview below. If you want to know my impressions from an early build, check out my hands-on preview. So IGN goes, what inspirations did Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster carry over most from the previous Dead Rising games like Dead Rising 2, and what might be the most surprising changes to veterans of the series beyond what was already previously announced? And devs go, playing through Dead Rising 2, 3, and 4, and listening to fans' feedback helped us reaffirm what elements needed to be included in Dead Rising 1. In particular, we put a lot of thought and care into Frank's characterization. One major change from the original game is the addition of several new skill books, which players can pair with in-game items for a new gameplay experience. We have also made adjustments so that all items play encounter have their own special use. We encourage you to try things out for yourself without getting too hung up on your impressions from the original game. Speaking and then speaking of change and then IGNX. Speaking of changes, I noticed several, if not all of the previously voiced characters like Brad and Jesse received new voice actors, most notably Frank West. Was there any specific reason for some characters not having their original voice actors reprise their roles? The dev team goes, based on fan wishes and our own developmental wishes, we wanted to use the English voiceover from the original game without making any changes. Unfortunately, we weren't able to move forward with this plan because the contract for the 18-year-old game was outdated. Another one of our goals for Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster was to make the game fully voiced, so we made some changes to the cast of voice actors. We've all been very pleased with the new actors' performances. IGN goes, speaking of Frank West, many in the Dead Rising community, including myself, have been trying to figure out who is voicing Frank West. Who is the talent voicing Frank West in Deluxe Remaster? The dev team goes, Jazz Patrick is the new voice of Frank West for Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. We're very pleased with the work he's done for the project. IGN goes, I know Frank West's original voice actor, TJ Rotolo, revealed he was not contacted by Capcom about reprising his role. Is there any reason why you decided not to contact Rotolo to return and voice Frank West? The dev team goes, we regret that we were unable to have TJ Rotolo reprise his role in Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster and accommodate the request of our dedicated fans. We have selected a new voice actor for Frank West, but we sincerely appreciate all that TJ Rotolo has done for the Dead Rising series and wish him the best in his future endeavors. IGN goes, we received a ton of information on 72-hour mode, but little to nothing on the other modes. Regarding Infinity Mode specifically, can you describe some of the biggest changes introduced that make it a little less challenging to play while still maintaining the challenge of obtaining achievements like 5 or 7-day Survivor? The dev team goes, regarding Infinity Mode, players are now able to save mid-game and exit without losing their progress. Along with the ability to fast-forward time, we made some adjustments that we think will allow players to enjoy the mode more casually than in the original game. Since zombies now drop items at a low rate, a more aggressive playstyle has become a viable option for this mode as well. And IGN goes, before Deluxe Remaster, the series remained dormant since Dead Rising 4's release in 2016. Should fans take Deluxe Remaster as a sign of things to come? Is there a chance Capcom will go back and remaster other Dead Rising games, or perhaps consider developing a new entry altogether? And the developers go, Capcom would like to continue to bring back many of its IPs. In hopes of expanding upon the Dead Rising series in the future, we'd first like to put effort into promoting Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster and share its appeal with fans around the world. So, some comments. The real Bernoobie goes, so in other words, buy it and they'll make more. This is the day one for me. I'll be streaming it on TikTok and Twitch for sure. People love watching this series, and the remake is highly anticipated. I'd love to see them expand the series more. Go straight up third-person action RPG, open world with drop-in, drop-out multiplayer. There's so much they could do with this franchise. Master Chief 3624 goes, wow, that was such a frustrating but not unexpected non-answer for why they didn't bring back the original voice actor. And Taffer19 goes, Dino Crisis remake confirmed? So, what do you think of this new Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster?
I could have sworn they did one for Xbox One, right?
They
Or that's
did,
just
yes, yes. That's something we did get with Games with Gold. But
okay.
this
So
is
that
one for like Xbox Series.
oh, okay, doing it for the second time. This time for the series. Okay,
But this time, it's not just getting the game files to work. They're building this from the ground up, basically.
interesting. Okay, let's see what happens in the next couple of years from now when they officially release it.
Yeah. Have you played any of the Dead Rising games?
I played Dead Rising 1 for a few minutes. It was all right. It's not my cup of tea. I will admit that. I'm more into shooting, like the shooting and looting or tactical shooting, like Apex Legends or Halo. A little bit of Call of Duty here and there. But this Dead Rising was also an open world in a pretty much in a supermarket or a supercenter of a mall.
Yeah.
That's it's limited, yes, obviously, but it's also open minded to what you want to do in that game because you use a TV to hit your enemies with, your zombies with, and all, and or a shopping cart, chainsaw if you can find one. Pretty cool stuff, I hear. Because you choose
Yeah.
over like 200 items just in that one first game alone. So I can't imagine how it's with the other Dead Rising 2 games. I did play though. At Dead Rising 2, I did play the Case Zero. That was for either for free or with discount, whatever.
Right.
I was like 25, not 24 at the time playing the game. It was all right to play. That game was all right. Slightly better than Dead Rising 1. But other than that, I'm sure Dead Rising 3 and 4, what I hear is not that good, especially Dead Rising 4. So,
Okay. Well, Dead Rising One, the original, I played, and I played the Xbox One release that we did get with Games with Gold. And I'll still play it again, to be honest. I
okay.
just don't because I have to have some kind of Xbox service to do so. Um, so but I played that, and I'll still play it again. And it was funny because I mean, just the weapons, you could name them all. You got guns, you got blunt weapons like pipes and weights, and then you could use like an umbrella, and you could use a torso of a mannequin and beat zombies with it. And then if you want to really get creative, you can use CDs and soda cans and throw them like ninja stars, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it does knock them back.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and then like you or use those umbrellas that they put like at tables and just run through, clearing zombies out of your way until the umbrella breaks. Um, so it was pretty good. Definitely worth it, even if you have the if even if you have to play the original. Dead Rising 2, I never played Case Zero. I played the original Dead Rising 2, and I played Dead Rising 2 Case West, where Chuck Green and Frank West team up.
All right.
I never beat Dead Rising 2, the original. I did play Dead Rising 2 off the record, um, where they replaced Chuck Green with Frank West, but Chuck Green he was a psychopath boss, but also if someone joined in to play co-op, they would take control of Chuck Green.
Hmm.
Um, so it's weird. They had the same character be a psychopath boss, but also be an ally if someone wanted to join the game.
Pretty
Uh,
cool.
Dead Rising 3, that was honestly the bad one in my opinion, because I got really far in it and I just couldn't make myself finish it, even though I probably could have. I just like lost. It's like Mafia 3. Just, I don't want any more. Dead
it,
Rising 4, I played and I actually beat. Um, the ending did surprise me. And I really thought that the series was over by then, after that, based on the ending. Um, but you know, maybe I always wondered, could they maybe, the ending. You never really saw what happened to Frank. Maybe yeah, okay, maybe he got left behind, so he didn't drag the helicopter down. But who says he had to die once he fell off the, once he fell out of the plane? Maybe he found a way to survive. maybe.
Yeah.
They could have done something to in the lore to bring him back, you know, but uh, or maybe he did survive in some other, and they could start him somewhere else in a different game, regardless who's voicing him, and then
Indeed.
they just explain in the new game how he escaped when you thought he was dead.
Oh yeah.
So there is, yeah. So I mean, Dead Rising, if I think Dead Rising 4 gets more hate than it deserves, but it's like the closest we've had to Dead Rising being in a city instead of just confined to a mall. Or I mean, I know Dead Rising 3, but Dead Rising 3, that can be left behind. Um, so I think if you haven't played Dead Rising 4 because of the negative opinion it gets, you should try it out. I'm not going to be playing this one, um, but I do think for people who haven't played it or have an Xbox Series and want to play it again, then definitely get this game.
Oh, for newcomers, at least that
Yeah,
new Dead Rising gamers.
yeah, because the first Dead Rising was like '06, so
Yes.
that's 18 years ago.
Damn, time flies.
Ready
And
to
speak and
go
speaking
on?
of Dead Rising and mixture of Resident Evil as well, there's this crossover death battle on the Death Battle YouTube channel where Frank West or the original character from Dead Rising One go up against Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. So that's
Mhm.
gonna cross promo to have for those who wants to play both Resident Evil as well as Dead Rising. So
Yeah,
check that out as well too if you have time.